We have some breaking news here on NBA Today. LeBron James has agreed to a contract extension that is going to keep him in Los Angeles. That's according to our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj will be with us in just a couple of moments. But Janae, for now, I'm going to send it back to you.
What's your immediate reaction to the breaking news that Malika and Woj will get to? LeBron James hopefully agreeing to a 2-year contract extension with the Lakers.
Well, first of all, he deserves it. He's LeBron James. He's still one of the best players in the world at age 37 after 19 years in the league, approaching his 20th season. $97 million, averaging less than $50 million a year with the box office attraction that he is, and the fact that he still puts forth a Herculean effort on a night-in, night-out basis. He deserves every penny. What I was initially worried about when I saw it was that, wait a minute, 2 years strips you of the flexibility if you're the Los Angeles Lakers to really do the kind of things you want to do in free agency potentially next year. But then I saw he had a player option for year 2. So he's always in a situation where, you know what, you can find yourself opting out and giving the Lakers the flexibility that they need to do what they need to do, and then coming back and doing something along those lines. So I like what he's doing here. He deserves it. The investment in him needed to be made by the Lakers. And speaking to Jeannie Buss, she never hesitates to do what LeBron James is going to want her to do. She personally told me months ago her #1 priority is for LeBron James to be happy. Because obviously winning just 33 games, being 16 games under 500, he was walking around with a very truculent attitude, as well as he should have last season, because he doesn't take losing lightly. Winning matters to him a great deal. Her #1 priority was making sure to put a smile on his face, because she know it's entwined with winning. If he ain't winning, he ain't gonna be happy. That's her priority, to make him happy. That
contract for a 37-year-old, that's going to put a smile on his face. Let's be real here.
He's a billionaire.
He is a billionaire, man.
Have
you're
forgotten
correct.
That? He's all right.
Stay right there, Stephen A. We're going to need you in a little bit, but let's go to the man who broke the news, Adrian Wojnarowski, our own NBA insider, sitting with Malika.
Janae, thank you so much. Revisiting this breaking news here on NBA Today, that LeBron James, according to our senior insider, Adrian Wojnarowski, has agreed to a contract extension to stay in Los Angeles. So first, Woj, can you give us the exact details on this contract?
Yeah, Malika, 2-year extension, $97 million. Could be worth up to $111 million if the cap goes up in 23-24. So now LeBron James under contract. This year, he was heading into the final year of his deal. Then 23-24, he's got a player option now in 24-25, along with Anthony Davis. And so the Laker organization now, they can have potentially about $20 million in cap space this summer. And then the following year, where really Davis and LeBron James are really the only two under contract based on the current roster, they'd be able to add another max player or split the money up among more players.
Right.
But I think for LeBron James, the timing right now, listen, this is where he wants to be. There's nobody who potentially would have cap space next summer that would interest LeBron James to even look at free agency. And listen, at 37 years old, he'll be 38 in December, still at the very top of his game. And with this contract, Malika, now $532 million in career earnings. That surpasses Kevin Durant's guaranteed deal, the most that any player in the league. He's now the highest earning player in the history of the game.
Why now?
Well, I think for LeBron James, he keeps control of his future. Now, he's not eligible because it's an extension and not a new contract. For a no-trade clause. You saw Bradley Beal get that with Washington. But because they're doing an extension, you can't now include that into the deal. But now he's got, essentially, a $50 million salary. Also, I'm told in the deal, a 15% trade kicker. And then his stature, who he is, and this organization. LeBron James is not going to be traded. Right. And so with or without that clause in his contract, he'll be able to control his future, and certainly for now, the chance to try to get, this Laker team healthy again. If Russell Westbrook is going to be here to figure out an onboarding with him that works this season with Darvin Ham. Listen, right now this is probably not a championship contender with the Lakers, still a very good team, but there's still an opportunity to put those pieces back around LeBron James, Anthony Davis as they move forward, and now having him under contract, certainly if you're a player who wants to play in L.A., who either is looking to push for a trade to L.A. or looking at their cap space next summer, LeBron James is part of that equation.
LeBron James planned this out perfectly. He signed a 2-year extension with a player option on that second year, which means right now, Bronny James is a senior in high school. He'll be entering his freshman year by the time that first year on that extension kicks in. So by the time LeBron has his player option, Bronny will more than likely be declaring for the draft because he'll be exiting his freshman year of college, since obviously you can't just get drafted out of high school anymore. I first thought that LeBron wasn't even going to sign the extension because of the Bronny situation, but now that he was able to get a 2-year deal and have a player option, those two are going to play together. You can bet on it. Which means they'll be the first father-son duo in the NBA. But that is all I have for this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys make of this situation. LeBron James staying in LA, at least for now. And leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more NBA content just like this. And I will see you in the next upload.